Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're taking a look at The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy.
Oh yeah, a classic.
Definitely a classic. And we've got a summary, which means we're getting like this double distilled dose of all these mind-shifting insights.
That's right.
I'm excited to explore how our thoughts, the ones that are kind of bubbling away under the surface, might actually be the key to unlocking a whole lot of potential.
I think that's what so many people are looking for, right?
Totally. And this book dives right in.
It does.
With a really bold idea. It says, riches are your right.
It's not even a privilege. It's your right.
Whoa. Okay. So it's like saying abundance is our birthright, not just something for a select few.
Exactly.
What do you make of that?
I think it's a huge mindset shift for a lot of people.
It is.
Because we're so used to thinking from that scarcity mindset. There's only so much to go around.
Right.
But this is saying, no, you are inherently worthy.
Like you deserve a fulfilling life.
Yes, and it's not about ego or greed. It's about recognizing that you are aligned with these principles of truth and love and justice.
So it's about aligning ourselves with those things and trusting that abundance will flow as a result.
That's the idea.
I love that. And it reminds me of something else the book talks about, this idea of habitual thinking.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not just about wishing for a better life.
Mm-hmm.
It's about really cultivating those thoughts and beliefs
Yes.
that support that vision.
Absolutely.
It's almost like we're planting seeds. What we focus on is what grows.
And the subconscious mind picks up on that.
It does.
It really does. It's constantly absorbing information.
So if we're bombarded with negativity, like from the news or social media or even our own self-talk, it's no wonder we might struggle.
Absolutely, because that's what you're feeding it, right?
Yeah, we're feeding it junk food.
Yeah, you're not going to get healthy on that.
Exactly. But the good news is we have the power to choose what we feed our minds.
We do. We have the power to choose.
And that brings us to another big idea in the book, this idea of unleashing our infinite power. Oh, yes.
So it's saying that within each of us, there's this untapped potential.
Untapped reservoir of power and strength.
And it can transform our lives.
Yes. And it gives examples.
It does.
Real life stories.
Yeah, like the one about the man who healed himself from a serious illness.
Through the power of belief.
It makes you wonder what incredible potential is just kind of lying dormant within each of us.
Absolutely. And if he can do it, what can we do?
Right. What can we do if we tap into that?
Exactly.
And the book encourages us to be open-minded, to embrace new possibilities, and to really trust in our own inner wisdom.
Yes, to believe that we can grow and transform.
And then the book takes this really fascinating turn. It delves into biblical truths.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it talks about their application to our modern lives, especially when it comes to healing.
Mm-hmm.
So it explores this idea that healing isn't just physical, but also mental and spiritual.
It's all connected.
Yeah, and it talks about recognizing this divine spark within everyone as the source of our healing power.
That's powerful. It is. So it's suggesting that we all have this innate ability to heal not just our bodies, but our minds and spirits as well.
Yes, and it all starts with forgiveness.
Forgiveness.
Not just forgiving others, but also forgiving ourselves.
That's the hard part.
It is.
Letting go of those past mistakes and the guilt and shame that we hold on to.
Yes, because they block the flow.
They block the flow of positive energy.
Of positive energy, exactly.
It's like we're carrying around all this baggage.
You got it.
It weighs us down.
It does.
And it prevents us from moving forward.
And forgiveness is about letting that go.
Freedom.
Freedom, creating space for healing and growth.
And this all ties into the book's emphasis on faith, right?
Yes.
Not just faith in a higher power, but faith in the goodness of life itself. This belief that things will ultimately work out for our highest good.
Having that trust that things are unfolding as they should.
Mm-hmm. And then we come to another powerful concept, the power of imagination.
Oh, yes. The book calls it God's workshop.
Whoa, so every idea our mind conceives can be brought into being through imagination.
That is the idea.
That's a lot of responsibility.
It is, and that's why it emphasizes disciplined imagination.
Not just daydreaming.
Right. It's about focusing our thoughts and energy on what we want to create.
So instead of dwelling on fear or negativity, we're using our imagination to build something positive.
Exactly.
So we're becoming these practical dreamers, as the book calls them.
I like that.
Bringing our dreams to life through focused intention and action.
Yes, we can't just wish for things to happen.
Right, we have to take steps.
We have to take action.
To make them a reality. And those steps often start with aligning our desires with our feelings, which the book refers to as sacraments.
Sacraments, okay.
It's an interesting term.
It is. What do you think it means in this context?
Well, I'm thinking about it like those acts of divine union where our desires and feelings merge.
I think you're on the right track.
It connects this to prayer, viewing it as a marriage ceremony between our desire and its fulfillment. Have you ever felt that sense of peace or release after you've been really focused on a goal or praying for something with deep intention?
Yes, absolutely. It's like surrendering it to a higher power.
And trusting that it will be taken care of.
Having that faith that it will work out.
But it's also about letting go of the old to make way for the new right.
Yes, letting go of what no longer serves us.
The book uses the term crucifixion to describe this process.
Wow.
It's not about literal crucifixion, of course. It's symbolic.
It is.
Letting go of old patterns, limiting beliefs, negative emotions.
Or all the things that hold us back.
So we're crucifying our fears, our doubts, our self-sabotaging tendencies.
That's a powerful image.
It is. It's like shedding old skin to make way for this new, more vibrant version of ourselves.
I love that analogy.
And once we let go of those limitations, we create space for abundance, joy, fulfillment to flow into our lives.
And that's what we all want, right?
Absolutely. And that brings us to the practical side of things, how to actually plan for prosperity and happiness.
Okay, let's get practical.
What's the book's take on that?
Well, it defines prosperity as not just financial wealth,
Okay.
but thriving in all areas of life.
So it's holistic.
Yes, it's about feeling whole and well in your mind, body, and spirit.
I love that. And I remember the book offers this prosperity prayer.
Oh, yeah.
It's full of powerful affirmations like, I am divinely guided and inspired.
Beautiful.
It's like repeating these phrases to align ourselves with abundance.
Yes, and it also talks about writing down your desires,
Oh, it's interesting.
making them tangible like a roadmap for your subconscious mind.
So we're sending a clear message to the universe about what we want.
Exactly. And then taking those concrete steps to make it happen.
So there's the action piece, too.
Always.
And the book outlines 3 specific steps for achieving success.
Oh, I like this. Tell me more.
It says find work that aligns with your passion.
Okay.
Specialize in that area
Mm-hmm.
and make sure it benefits humanity.
So it's not just about you.
Right. It's about using your gifts to make a positive impact on the world.
I love that.
And all of this is powered by the creative force of our subconscious mind.
That incredible reservoir of energy and potential that we talked about.
So it's not just about hard work and determination. It's about tapping into something deeper.
A deeper source of wisdom and power that's always available to us.
And that leads to the idea that the answer is within you.
Meaning?
Well, it's about cultivating a deeper connection with ourselves, learning to listen to that inner voice that guides us.
Our intuition.
Exactly. Have you ever had that gut feeling that turned out to be right?
Oh, all the time.
That's your inner wisdom speaking.
It is, and we need to learn to trust it.
The book encourages us to trust it, to develop that habit of listening to our intuition.
Because it knows the way.
It does, and it knows what's best for us.
It does.
And speaking of what's best for us, the book talks about self-forgiveness as the key to living a charmed life.
A charmed life.
Interesting. But it's not about magic charms or spells or anything like that.
What is it about then?
It's about a deeper shift in how we view ourselves.
Yeah.
It's about letting go of that guilt and shame that can hold us back from experiencing true joy and fulfillment.
So embracing self-acceptance.
Yes, recognizing our inherent worthiness regardless of our past mistakes.
That's a big one for a lot of people.
It is. I think so many of us struggle with that.
Yeah, we're our own worst critics.
We're so much harder on ourselves than we are on anyone else.
And the book offers a different perspective.
Yes.
Yes, it encourages us to see penance not as punishment, but as the process of forgiveness and transformation.
So instead of dwelling on our flaws,
Right.
we should focus on our strengths and celebrate our progress.
Exactly.
It's about choosing to see ourselves through a lens of compassion and understanding.
And that's how we create a more positive reality.
It is, and that brings us to another fascinating concept, using our subconscious for wealth.
Okay, so we're talking about money now.
Well, not just money, it's about cultivating what the book calls wealth consciousness.
So a state of mind.
Yes, a state of mind that recognizes abundance in all areas of life.
I like that.
It's about believing in our own worthiness and knowing that we deserve to experience prosperity.
Prosperity in all its forms.
Exactly. And the book provides this wealth affirmation to help us shift our mindset.
Give me an example.
It says, I am one with the infinite riches of my subconscious mind.
Powerful.
It is, and it emphasizes avoiding mental conflict when we affirm for wealth.
Meaning.
Like we have to truly believe it, not just say the words.
Feel it in your heart.
Yeah, so aligning our thoughts, feelings, and beliefs with our desire for abundance.
That's how we create that magnetic force for manifestation.
And speaking of blessings, the book also touches on this concept of consciousness of health.
Okay, so we're moving from wealth to health.
It reiterates this idea that there's an infinite healing presence within each of us.
Our body's innate ability to heal and regenerate.
So it's recognizing this inherent power and aligning our thoughts and beliefs with this vision of ourselves as healthy and vibrant beings. So if we're constantly worrying about getting sick or focusing on our ailments, we might actually be hindering our body's natural healing process.
Because we're feeding it negativity.
We are.
And that's not going to help.
But if we focus on the positive,
Yes. If we focus on health and vitality.
it can have a powerful impact on our well-being.
Absolutely. Our thoughts and beliefs have a profound impact on our physical health.
It really makes you think about that connection between mind and body.
It does. It's all connected.
And the book also provides some guidance on praying for healing, both for ourselves and for others.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, emphasizing the importance of faith and belief in the healing process.
So it's not just about the words we say.
Right, it's about the energy and the intention behind them. Aligning our intentions with the divine will, trusting that healing is possible.
And allowing that trust to guide us.
And finally, the book encourages us to make friends with money.
Make friends with money.
To see it as a tool for good rather than something to be feared or resented.
So shifting our perspective from scarcity to abundance.
Yes, recognizing that money is simply energy, a resource that can be used to create positive change in the world.
I like that.
It's not about greed or material possessions.
Right.
It's about aligning our mindset with abundance and using our resources to make a positive impact.
So using our wealth to create a better life for ourselves and others.
Exactly. And it all starts with our thoughts.
Our thoughts create our reality.
When we cultivate a positive attitude towards money, we open ourselves up to receiving greater abundance.
And that's what we all want.
Wow, we've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive.
We have. It's a lot to unpack.
From divine entitlement and the power of our subconscious to healing and prosperity.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. This book is packed with so many thought-provoking concepts
And practical tools.
for personal transformation.
It is.
So what's resonating with you so far?
You know, I think what stands out to me is this theme of personal responsibility that keeps coming up. The book is saying we're not victims of circumstance. We are creators of our own destiny.
I love that.
It's empowering to realize that we have the power to choose our thoughts, our beliefs, our actions.
To create the life we want.
Exactly.
But it also acknowledges that this journey isn't always easy.
No, it's not.
There are going to be obstacles and challenges, and I think one of the biggest ones we face is fear.
Fear, oh yes, that can really hold us back.
It can make us want to play it safe, stay in our comfort zones, avoid taking risks.
Fear is a powerful emotion.
It is, but the book doesn't just say, don't be afraid.
What does it say?
It gives us a framework for understanding fear and using it to our advantage.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Well, one of the key insights is recognizing that fear often stems from our perception of the unknown.
The what ifs.
Exactly, all those what-if scenarios that play out in our minds.
Our imagination can run wild,
It can.
creating all these worst-case scenarios.
That might never even happen.
Right, so the first step is to challenge those fearful thoughts.
Don't just let them run wild.
Right, we need to ask ourselves, is this fear based on reality, or is it just my imagination?
So separating fact from fiction.
Exactly.
Because often our fears are way more exaggerated in our minds than they are in reality.
They are. We tend to blow things out of proportion.
And once we've identified the irrationality of our fear, we can start to replace those negative thoughts with positive affirmations.
Yes, positive affirmations.
So instead of saying, I'm terrified of public speaking, you might say, I am a confident and engaging speaker.
That's a great example.
And the book says the more we repeat these positive affirmations, the more they sink into our subconscious mind.
Like reprogramming our brains for success.
Exactly. And our subconscious mind is incredibly powerful.
It is.
It responds to repetition. So by consistently feeding it these positive affirmations, we can gradually rewire our thought patterns.
And create a more empowering belief system.
That supports us in achieving our goals.
I love that.
And speaking of achieving our goals, we can't forget about visualization.
Ah, yes. Visualization, a powerful tool.
The book talks a lot about that.
It does.
So how does visualization help us overcome fear?
Well, when we visualize ourselves succeeding, it creates a sense of familiarity.
So it reduces the fear of the unknown.
Exactly.
It's like we're taking a mental test drive before the real thing.
I like that analogy.
And the book suggests making those visualizations as vivid and detailed as possible, engaging all our senses.
So it's not just seeing it.
Right. It's feeling, hearing it, even smelling it.
Like you're really there.
Immersing ourselves in the experience.
The more real we make it in our minds, the more powerful the impact.
But it's not just about visualizing the end result, right?
Yeah.
It's also about visualizing the steps we need to take to get there.
Absolutely.
So if your goal is to write a book, for example,
Okay.
don't just visualize yourself holding the finished product.
Right.
Visualize yourself sitting down to write each day, feeling inspired, making progress.
Breaking it down into manageable steps.
And then visualizing ourselves successfully completing those steps.
It makes it feel less daunting.
Much less daunting, and as we visualize each step,
Yes.
we're also mentally rehearsing them,
Exactly.
which builds our confidence.
And reduces fear.
It's like practicing for a performance.
The more we practice, the more comfortable we become.
And the book also emphasizes focusing on the positive aspects of our goals, rather than dwelling on potential obstacles.
Choosing where we direct our attention.
If we're constantly fixated on what could go wrong, we're more likely to sabotage ourselves.
Right. Our thoughts become self-fulfilling prophecies.
But if we focus on the excitement, the joy, the sense of accomplishment,
The positive emotions.
it fuels our motivation.
And diminishes fear.
So it's not about ignoring potential challenges, but about choosing to focus on what we want to create.
Absolutely.
And that brings us to the power of gratitude.
Gratitude. Ah, yes.
We all know it's good for us, but how does it actually help us overcome fear?
When we practice gratitude, we shift our focus away from lack and fear.
And towards
Abundance and appreciation.
It's like that saying, what you focus on expands.
Exactly.
If we're constantly dwelling on what we don't have,
Or what we're afraid of.
those fears will only grow.
Yes. But if we focus on what we're grateful for,
We open ourselves up to receiving even more blessings.
and that shifts our energy.
It does. And the book suggests keeping a gratitude journal,
A gratitude journal. Okay.
where we write down everything we're thankful for each day.
Big or small?
Big or small, this simple practice can have a profound impact on our well-being.
It can. And our ability to navigate life's challenges.
And then there's this concept of acting as if.
Acting as if interesting.
It's about embodying the qualities we want to cultivate.
Even if we don't feel them fully yet.
Exactly, like we're faking it till we make it.
But it's more than just pretending.
It is. It's about consciously choosing to behave in a way that aligns with our desired reality.
So if we want to be more confident, we might stand up straight, make eye contact, speak assertively.
Even if we're feeling shy or insecure.
It's about taking those actions.
And trusting that those actions will eventually influence our thoughts and beliefs.
Our behavior can shape our inner world.
And speaking of action, we can't just sit around thinking positive thoughts and visualizing our dreams.
We have to take action.
We have to do something to make them happen.
Action is the bridge.
Between our inner world and our outer reality.
Exactly. It's what brings our dreams to life.
But taking action can be scary.
Especially when we're facing our fears.
So how do we navigate that?
Well, the book emphasizes that even small steps count.
We don't have to make drastic changes overnight.
No, it's about building momentum one step at a time.
So if we're afraid of starting a business, we don't have to quit our jobs and launch a full-scale operation tomorrow.
Right?
We can start by taking small steps like registering a business name or creating a website.
Exactly. And as we take action, we'll build confidence.
And reduce fear.
Because nothing builds self-belief like seeing ourselves take action and achieve results.
Even small ones.
Even small ones, they all matter.
It's like proving to ourselves that we are capable of moving forward, even when fear is present.
And it's important to remember that failure is part of the process.
We can't let the fear of failure paralyze us.
Absolutely.
The book reframes failure as a learning opportunity.
A chance to adjust our course and try again.
It encourages us to adopt a growth mindset.
Where we see challenges as opportunities for growth.
Rather than threats to our ego.
We're always learning and growing.
It's about embracing the journey, knowing that there will be bumps along the road.
Yes, and being kind to ourselves along the way.
Self-compassion.
Exactly.
That's so important because when we beat ourselves up for our mistakes,
It just makes it harder to move forward.
and it amplifies our fears.
It does.
So self-compassion allows us to treat ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we would offer a close friend.
Recognizing that we're all human.
And we're all doing the best we can.
Exactly. And that brings us back to the power of forgiveness,
Forgiveness.
which we talked about earlier.
We did in the context of letting go of the past.
Right. But it's also relevant to overcoming fear in the present moment,
How so?
where when we hold on to resentment, anger, or guilt,
It creates a heavy burden,
it does. It weighs us down,
prevents us from moving forward.
like carrying around a backpack full of rocks.
That's a great analogy.
Forgiveness is about setting ourselves free from that burden.
It's not about condoning hurtful behavior
No, it's about releasing those negative emotions.
so that we can heal and move on.
Exactly.
I think forgiveness, especially self-forgiveness, is one of the most challenging but also most liberating practices.
It is.
And the book offers some practical guidance on how to practice forgiveness, like
Yeah.
writing a letter to the person we need to forgive.
Even if we never send it.
Even if we never send it, it's about getting those feelings out of our system.
Releasing them from our minds and hearts.
And it also emphasizes the importance of forgiving ourselves for past mistakes.
Oh, that's a big one.
We tend to be so much harder on ourselves than we are on anyone else.
We do.
Holding ourselves to these unrealistic standards, dwelling on past regrets.
It's like we have this inner critic that's constantly reminding us of our shortcomings.
But the book reminds us that we're all works in progress.
We are.
We're all learning and growing.
And it's okay to make mistakes.
It's about accepting ourselves with all our imperfections and choosing to move forward with grace and compassion.
I love that.
And when we forgive ourselves, we release that guilt and shame that can hold us back from living a full and joyful life.
It's like shedding a layer of negativity.
Allowing ourselves to breathe more deeply and embrace the present moment.
And as we release that negativity,
Yes,
we open ourselves up to new possibilities.
a life filled with abundance, joy, and fulfillment.
That's what we're talking about.
And speaking of releasing negativity, we've talked a lot about replacing negative thoughts with positive affirmations.
Affirmations, yes.
Can you explain a little more about how those work?
Sure, affirmations are basically positive statements that we repeat to ourselves.
Either out loud or silently.
Exactly. To reprogram our subconscious minds
Like we're planting seeds of positive belief.
in the fertile ground of our subconscious
And the key is to choose affirmations that resonate with us.
that feel authentic and believable.
It's not about forcing ourselves to believe something that feels untrue,
Right.
but about choosing empowering statements that align with our desired reality.
So if we're afraid of public speaking, we might repeat affirmations like, I am a confident and engaging speaker.
Or I love sharing my ideas with others.
Back.
And the book suggests repeating these affirmations throughout the day,
Especially when?
especially when we're feeling fearful or doubtful.
To interrupt those negative thought patterns.
Replacing them with positive, empowering beliefs.
It's like building a mental muscle.
The more we practice, the stronger it becomes.
Absolutely.
And as we consistently affirm our desired reality, our subconscious mind starts to accept it as truth.
And begins to work towards manifesting it.
It's fascinating how that works,
It is, our words have incredible power.
especially the words we speak to ourselves.
Exactly.
It's about becoming mindful of our self-talk.
And making a conscious effort to use language that supports our goals.
And that leads to the power of belief.
Belief? Ah, yes, the foundation of all achievement.
Because if we don't believe we can achieve something, we probably won't.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
It is. And the book emphasizes that belief is not something we're born with.
It's something we cultivate.
It's a choice.
It is.
It's about choosing to believe in ourselves, in our abilities, and in the power of our subconscious minds.
To manifest our desires.
So how do we cultivate belief, especially when we're struggling with fear and doubt?
One way is to surround ourselves with supportive people.
People who believe in our dreams.
People who remind us of our strengths.
So creating a positive and supportive environment
That nourishes our aspirations.
and helps us stay focused on our goals.
Absolutely.
It's also about limiting our exposure to negativity.
Whether it's from people or the media or even our own inner dialogue.
Protecting our mental space.
Yes, creating a mindset that supports our growth.
And then there's taking action.
Action, always action.
But not just any action.
What kind of action?
Inspired action.
Inspired action. Okay, I like that.
What's the difference between inspired action and just taking any action?
Well, inspired action is aligned with our intuition.
With that inner voice that guides us.
Towards our true purpose.
It's about following our heart.
Even if it leads us off the beaten path.
And when we take inspired action,
We tap into a source of power that's far greater than our own willpower.
It's like being carried by a current.
effortlessly moving towards our destination,
It's about trusting the process, knowing that we're exactly where we need to be.
doing exactly what we need to do.
And as we take inspired action,
Fear naturally dissipates.
it does because we're aligned with our true purpose.
Their soul's calling.
And as we continue to take inspired action,
We begin to manifest our dreams,
with greater ease and grace.
experiencing a sense of fulfillment and purpose.
That's far more profound than anything we could have imagined.
That's the beauty of it.
This has been such an incredible exploration of how to overcome fear and step into our power.
It has. We've covered so much ground.
From understanding the nature of fear to using affirmations, visualization, inspired action.
All to create the life we desire.
And it all boils down to this. We are far more powerful than we realize.
We are.
We have within us the ability to create the lives we want.
To heal our bodies.
To experience joy and fulfillment beyond our wildest dreams.
But it all starts with recognizing the power of our subconscious mind.
And learning to harness that power for good.
Becoming conscious creators of our reality.
Rather than passive victims of circumstance.
Exactly.
And as we cultivate a deeper understanding of our subconscious mind.
And learn to align our thoughts, beliefs, and actions.
With our highest aspirations.
We unlock a world of infinite possibilities.
We step into our power as creators, healers, manifestors of our dreams.
That's beautiful.
But before we get carried away with all those possibilities, we need to address a crucial aspect of personal transformation, one that often gets overlooked.
And that is?
The role of the subconscious mind in healing.
Ah, yes. The subconscious mind's power to heal is truly remarkable.
It's the source of our body's innate ability to repair and regenerate itself.
And when we learn to harness this power,
we can experience profound transformations in our physical, mental, and emotional well-being.
It's all connected.
So how do we actually tap into the subconscious mind's healing power?
It's one thing to say it's there, but how do we access it?
That's a great question, and I think one of the most effective methods is through visualization.
Visualization, ah, yes.
As we discussed earlier, visualization involves creating these vivid mental images
of what we want to experience.
When we apply this technique to healing, we can literally visualize ourselves becoming healthy and whole again.
So if someone's struggling with an illness, they can visualize their body fighting off the disease, their cells regenerating their energy, returning to a state of balance.
And it's not just about passively watching this happen in our minds, right?
Yeah.
It's about actively engaging all our senses in the visualization.
Making it as real as possible.
Go imagine seeing yourself healthy and vibrant.
Feeling the energy coursing through your body.
Hearing the doctor tell you that you're in perfect health.
It's about creating a multisensory experience.
That convinces our subconscious that healing is taking place.
And here's the fascinating part.
What's that?
Welcome back to our deep dive into the power of your subconscious mind.
We were just talking about how powerful the subconscious mind is.
Yeah, it can even play a role in healing.
Absolutely. And that's pretty amazing to think about.
It is, and it makes you wonder how much more we could achieve if we really tapped into this power.
Right, if we understood how to use it to our advantage.
And this book gives us a lot of insights into that.
It does. It provides practical tools and techniques that we can use to harness the power of our subconscious minds.
And one of those tools is visualization.
Ah, yes. Visualization is such a powerful technique. We talked about it earlier in the context of overcoming fear.
Right, using it to create a sense of familiarity with what we're aiming for.
And when we apply visualization to healing, it's like we're giving our bodies a blueprint for recovery.
We're creating a vision of ourselves as healthy and whole.
And the subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between reality and imagination. So when we repeatedly visualize ourselves as healthy, it starts to believe it's true.
And it begins to orchestrate the healing process within our bodies.
It's like we're planting those seeds of health and well-being in the fertile ground of our subconscious.
And just like a seed needs water and sunlight to grow, those seeds of health need our attention and focus to flourish.
So it's not just a one-time thing. It's about consistently visualizing ourselves as healthy and whole.
And believing that healing is possible.
And speaking of belief, the book also talks about the power of affirmations for healing.
Oh yes, affirmations. Those positive statements that we repeat to ourselves.
To reprogram our subconscious minds.
And when it comes to healing, we can use affirmations to shift our focus from illness to wellness.
So instead of dwelling on our symptoms or worrying about getting sick,
we can repeat affirmations like, I am healthy, strong, and vibrant.
Or, My body is a powerful healing machine.
Exactly. It's about speaking to our bodies with love and encouragement, reminding them of their innate ability to heal.
And it's about believing in the power of those words to create positive change.
Our words have so much power, especially the words we speak to ourselves.
And what about prayer? Does the book address the role of prayer in healing?
It does. It acknowledges that prayer is a powerful form of communication with the divine.
With the source of all healing power.
And when we pray for healing, whether for ourselves or for others, we open ourselves up to a flow of grace and energy.
That can support and facilitate the healing process.
But the book emphasizes that our prayers should be filled with faith and conviction.
Not with fear or doubt.
It's not about begging or pleading, but about aligning our intentions with the divine will.
And trusting that healing is already taking place.
Surrendering to a power greater than ourselves.
And allowing that power to work through us.
It's about recognizing that we are not alone in this journey.
That there's a force of love and healing that's always available to us.
And when we open ourselves up to that force, we can experience miraculous transformations.
And I think that's what's so inspiring about this book. It reminds us that we are not limited by our physical bodies or our current circumstances.
We are beings of infinite potential, capable of experiencing profound healing and transformation.
And it all starts with recognizing the power of our subconscious minds and learning to harness that power for good.
So let's keep exploring these ideas and see how we can apply them to our own lives.
Let's do that. Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We've been on quite a journey exploring the power of your subconscious mind.
We have. It's such a fascinating book.
It is. And, one of the ideas that really stuck with me was this concept of becoming a practical mystic.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
It sounds kind of paradoxical, though, right? Like, how can you be practical and mystical at the same time?
It's about integrating those two aspects of ourselves.
Yeah.
It's not about just living in a spiritual bubble.
Right.
It's about bringing that awareness into our everyday lives.
So we're not just dreaming big.
No.
We're taking action to make those dreams a reality.
Exactly. But we're doing it with a sense of purpose and connection to something bigger than ourselves.
It's like we're weaving those two worlds together, the spiritual and the material.
I like that analogy.
We're grounded in the practical realities of life, but we're also open to the mystical, the unseen forces that shape our experiences.
And the book gives us so many tools to help us do that.
It does. We've talked about affirmations, visualization, prayer taking inspired action.
All of those are practical ways to tap into the power of our subconscious minds.
And to use that power to create the life we want.
Absolutely. And the key is consistency.
Oh, yeah. It's not just about doing these things once in a while.
No, it's about making them a regular part of our lives.
Like a daily ritual.
A spiritual practice that supports our overall well-being.
But it's not separate from our everyday lives, right?
No, it's integrated into everything we do.
And as we consistently apply these principles, we start to see these amazing transformations.
We do. We attract more abundance. We experience greater joy. We manifest our dreams with greater ease.
It's like we become the conscious creators of our reality.
Instead of passive victims of circumstance.
We realize that we have the power to shape our lives.
To create the experiences we want.
And it's a journey, right?
It is.
And not a destiny.
There will be ups and downs, challenges and triumphs.
But even in those challenging moments,
we can remember that we have the power within us.
To overcome any obstacle.
And to create the life we truly desire.
And we can draw inspiration from those stories in the book.
Yeah.
The examples of ordinary people.
Who achieved extraordinary things.
By tapping into the power of their subconscious minds.
It's inspiring.
It shows us that it's possible for anyone.
Anyone who's willing to do the work.
To believe in themselves.
And to trust in the power of their subconscious minds.
And as we come to the end of our deep dive into the power of your subconscious mind, what's the one thing you want our listeners to take away?
I think the most important takeaway is to believe in yourself, to trust your intuition, and to never give up on your dreams.
It's all about realizing that you have the power within you.
To create the life you desire.
Go out there and make it happen.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and insights with us today. This has been an incredible journey.
It has been my pleasure.
And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the power of your subconscious mind. We hope you found it as insightful and empowering as we did. Until next time, keep diving deep, keep exploring, and keep believing in the power within you.